Welcome to the virtual career fair hosted by the Sustainable Community Aid Network, featuring an interview with graphic designer Andrea Domingo.
Okay, why don't you start off by introducing yourself and what you do for a living?
Hello, my name is Andrea, and I work at DeMello Coffee in Toronto.
What's your position? What do you do?
And I'm a graphic designer. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so what's the typical day look like as a graphic designer?
So basically, my days are pretty relatively the same. Basically, I'm sitting in front of a computer for 8 hours a day, just kind of designing stuff for the company. So right now I'm actually working on a project to design some limited edition coffee beans that we're going to be having in the next couple months.
Nice.
Yeah.
So why did you want to become a graphic designer? What inspired you?
Basically, in school, art was only the only one subject I was really good at. Wasn't one of those Asians that could do math or science or one of those things. So basically, yeah, that's basically what I was pretty much good at. One of those weird kids.
Yeah, so you wouldn't say there are any other fields that you're looking into? Did you consider anything else, going to a medical field or anything?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, of course. My mom's dream was for me to become the nurse, like any other Filipino mom out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what did you have to do to become a graphic designer? What did your pathway look like?
So basically, oh God, it was kind of a mess, honestly. It was just kind of so my path specifically was once I got out of high school, I went to Ryerson for a year for graphic communications management, which that program is basically kind of graphic, or what I was told was graphic design meets business. And I was like, okay, cool. I can compromise with my mom who wants me to do something a bit more mature. But yeah, I ended up hating it and I dropped out. I ended up taking 2 years of doing a whole lot of soul searching, and was kind of dead set on just pursuing it. I ended up saving enough money from jobs I was working when I was out of school, and yeah, I just kind of jumped for it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then after Ryerson and after the 2-year break, what did you do?
So I ended up going at George Brown for graphic design, and that was a 3-year program, and I just graduated last year.
Oh, that's great. And you got a job this year as a graphic designer.
Yeah, I just got a job at DeMello. So basically I worked at DeMello as a barista. Actually, I was there for about a year and a half, and then there was a job positioning for a graphic designer, and I was like, well, hi. So, yeah.
So then, what steps would you recommend someone who was looking into going into graphic design?
First and foremost, networking. It's pretty daunting, even for me. I'm still kind of it gives me anxiety just even thinking about it. But yeah, networking and just kind of and just putting your work out there and just making connections with people, because the people are basically people will help you out.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that networking has been one of the challenges? And then if so, what other challenges have you had to face to get where you are today?
It's, I wouldn't necessarily say it was a challenge for me in my position, just because I was already a barista and I knew everyone, so I kind of already had my foot in the door. But yeah, definitely if the thought of talking to people and being in environments where like you're not familiar with anyone kind of like gives you like the poops, and like yeah, that can be pretty challenging. But yeah, I mean it's I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. So if you could do it all over again, would you choose the same path for yourself, or would you completely change it? Like, what would you change, or would you change it at all?
I don't yeah, there's be a couple of things like so I work right now as like kind of like branding and like packaging design right now, but going into like school and like my kind of like dreams for like after school was to kind of like be into like more like clothing design or like apparel, or even like motion design. Like I really got into that like throughout like my time in George Brown. So I'm looking to pursue that maybe in the future, but I think where I am right now, considering that it's like COVID time, I think I'm pretty lucky to be where I am right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good. And why do you like your field? Why do you want to stay in it?
I want to stay in it just because I have like creative freedom to like, and I can kind of like not necessarily do whatever I want, but like do whatever I want within like certain boundaries, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just kind of like that creative freedom. And I like kind of like problem solving. That's kind of like the whole like gist of like graphic design, where like you can creatively, you know, find a solution for like everyday things that people like who aren't like familiar with like who don't normally have an eye for design, sorry. Yeah, we can like find a creative solution for stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Well, my last question for you is, if you had some advice for aspiring graphic designers, what would you say to
Um, broaden your horizons.
them?
Yeah. Just kind of because graphic design specifically is just so like broad, and like there's so many like different like points to it, and so many different like um what do you call this, so many different like types of graphic design that like, and it's so broad that like I would maybe for me personally, I would suggest kind of like honing down on like a specific kind of like type of graphic design, and maybe like specialize in that, and then kind of develop and grow and like improve your skills in like that
Mm-hmm.
part of like in that section. Yeah.
Yeah. So think of it like a young kid looking into going into the art area,
Mhm.
like pursuing art. Would you want to say anything to them?
You can get a job in the arts, because I was always told you can't get a job in the arts. In your face, everyone. I did it. So if I did it, you can do it too.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's amazing. Okay, thank you again for doing this.